Woo! We're live. Hey, welcome back to another live stream and another episode of these crazy people that just eat meat and can't stop talking about it. It's me, Tomas, and his buddy Justin, all out life carnivore. What's shaking, Justin? What do we talk about today?
Hi, hey, hi everybody. Hello, ladies and non-ladies. Thank you for joining us again for a 5 p.m. PST Meet Mosaic live stream where we will, of course, be taking your questions, jabbering on about the carnivore lifestyle and its benefits, as well as the occasional faults. Um, Sometimes we'll review an article, sometimes we'll watch a video, sometimes we'll do both.
Sometimes we'll talk about AC Curls choking out a bear.
Sometimes we'll do that. um, but yeah, we like to have fun here. Of course, if you're here, we do appreciate that thumbs up button. As a recent creator I started watching likes to say, give us the fawns. Hey. That was a pretty neat, nice way to say it. And go ahead and throw some. Let's go ahead and throw some me glitching in and out and some duck fat on that notification bell so that you know whenever one of our videos comes out, you're notified. Hopefully it makes it to your front page feed. I don't know what they're doing in that front page. I mean, YouTube's front page for me is like a near total mess. I have to pretty much search for anyone I want to go watch. Like they're never on the front page anymore. It's a tragedy. Also, shame on you, YouTube, for pushing shorts and trying to be like TikTok. I don't watch shorts. I don't know if you watch shorts, Tom, but I don't go to YouTube for shorts.
No, I typically buy my shorts at Bass Pro Shop.
There you go. Slap a how about a lamb chop? Shout out to some lamb on that subscribe button if you're not yet subscribed. We know people that in different parts of the world they have more access to lamb than beef, which I find to be a shame. But lamb, I've only had lamb once being carnivore, and I'm not sure if I even had it at all before.
What?
Yeah, I don't eat lamb. I just
Hey, well, you're out here. We'll go to George's, some Mediterranean place. They make mean little lamb chops.
oh no, not the poor little lambs.
It's in Covina, in your old stomping grounds.
Oh.
It's right up the street from Alpha Omega Burger. I rolled into Alpha Omega Burger the other day with my sidekick, Marissa, and I was like, oh man, I don't see Vicky's car. Vicky used to run that joint. And I went and asked the dude, and he's like, no, Vicky retired. I was, damn, I wanted to see my old pal Vicky.
And what'd you order, Tom? What'd you get?
I got chili burgers. I went back like yesterday. I got 4 beef patties and a chili bowl, and it was amazing. Except it spilled into the bag in my trunk on the way back to the office, so I had to pour the chili out of a freaking plastic bag onto my meat patties.
Oh no!
It was a huge mess, but
those polyphenols aren't going to mess with you in the plastic bag.
Not that I noticed. That's the thing about chili. Chili's like some magic voodoo. Like it protects you against like warts, polyphenols, all kinds of stuff that might get in your way. So Michael Maj and Christina are in the house. Good to see y'all. I got to meet Michael Maj in a video chat with. He was in Emily's. I guess it was a support group meeting. I forgot exactly what she called it, but good old M at
Inner Clarity System.
Inner Clarity's office said Center of Clarity or whatever. The old one. Sorry, M. Having trouble keeping up with the name changes. It's all right. We were all jumping in the river of love, weren't we?
You said you were talking about eating out on carnivore, and not that kind. Just to be clear, I went to Branson uh,
Ooh,
Missouri, and I went to. It was actually a whiskey distillery and a little like bar slash restaurant.
yeah.
Uh, because I had no designated driver and I'm a responsible human being, I went to the restaurant side instead of the whiskey tasting. But one of these days, um, and I went there and I ordered like a double cheeseburger kind of burger, and they're like, "How do you want it?" I said medium rare, and I think I asked them if I could get two extra patties. Like an extra patty was like $2, so for an extra $4. So anyway, I uh, I go to where the chef is, where they make the food, and he's like, "Hey, I just want to make sure this is right. You want four patties, is that right? Just on some lettuce, nothing else on there. You want it medium rare? Are you sure? Because if we mess it up, we have to throw it away." And I was like, first of all, thank you for checking. Secondly, if you mess up, that's just more patties for me.
Oh man, Bart and Brett, they're
You
doing
should
something
go.
right now.
You should bug them. Tell them to come over here.
ADS. Yeah, we should just start blowing up their phones
You
so they
should.
can't concentrate.
Yeah.
Send Pim a message. Tell her
You could
something.
have two windows open and just have both playing at the same
There
time.
you go.
Yeah.
All right.
We have psychic powers, so I'm sure whatever we're talking about,
Damn, dude.
I'm sure
Don't tell them
whatever.
we got our psychic powers.
Oh, yeah, psychic powers. I'm sure it'll
That
be completely relevant to what they're talking about.
we talk about that on the other channel.
Oh,
Just kidding.
right. The other channel.
Yeah, let's talk about eating now because I went out to lunch yesterday. Rhonda wanted to go to Longhorn. I forget what the heck it is she wanted to go there for, but yeah, I ordered. It was lunchtime, so if you ordered the half rack of baby backs as a meal, it was like 17.99. And I was like, hey, let me have a whole rack, all the cart. I got the bill. It was $20 even. A whole rack for $20. Now it was lunchtime, so it's probably cheaper than dinner, but that was something special right there.
Now, were those pork ribs or beef ribs?
Pork ribs.
Pork
Yeah.
ribs.
I don't think is there such thing as a beef baby back? Maybe there
Oh, I
is.
didn't hear that part. I just heard ribs.
Yeah, so that and I got to eat half a Rhonda's lobster tail, so it was a hell of a lunch.
She didn't finish her lobster? How dare she?
Well, she had a steak and some asparagus, so she's not quite the eating machine that you are.
Asparagus? Again, what's wrong with her?
Uh Michael Marshall is on his mobile device. So, hey, you know Bart and Brett, it'll be recorded and up forever.
Right. Well, maybe
So
not forever, depending
have
on what
fun,
they talk about.
have fun chatting with us.
Yeah, our chat's small enough to where we can read all of them and answer all of them.
Just because Bart's smart and all that stuff. I mean, come on, good old Brett.
Good old Brett. I still haven't been on while he's on. Every time he comes on, I'm either on vacation or sick.
All right, well, let's get Brett. Let's work something out and get Brett on.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should be. Bart's been crazy busy, so it's been tough to do any videos with him. But anyways, uh, Marge is here. What's up, Marge? Welcome. Yeah, so Marge and I did a video the other day that was definitely not carnivore, but it's up. It's public now too, by the way, Marge. So, anyways, when I uploaded it, for some reason, YouTube took forever to finish processing it, so I had to leave it as unlisted for a day or so. But anyways, it's up, and we talked about all kinds of taboo stuff that's going to drive Raymond Nazon crazy because we talked about
And Bart and, well,
maybe part
a
two.
handful of people.
We'll see what Bart has to say if he ever gets around to watching it. But yeah, we talked about hormone therapy, TRT, HRT, and anabolics might even come up in there. So I haven't tried any of that stuff, but yeah, I find it interesting, and people talk about it all the time. I know Marge and I are always talking about like we see people that say they got the body they got just on keto or carnivore or something, and you look at their age, a few details, and you're like, you might have had a little help outside of your diet and your exercise routine. I'm just saying. So, and of course, we talked to guys like John Anderson. It's like, um, uh, it's guys like him don't deny any of that stuff, right? They just tell you if you're going to do it, get a doctor to help you. Yeah, March, it made a huge difference for March to get some hormone supplementation. So it really turned things around for her. So now this may apply more generally to us older folk. Oh, Carol's in here. What's up, Carol? Good to see you. Everybody say hi to Carol and Marge. Carol was here once before, but I think this is Marge's first time. So
I think so.
everybody make them feel welcome. The usual suspects: ADS, Michael Maj, Christina. So, anyways, Marge and I, we did a video together 3 years ago or something like that. I don't know. It was a while ago. So now I did a new one with her. She talked honestly and openly. We talked to her trainer the most. Her trainer is on Fuego. She was, but we had a good time. It was a lot of fun. And Mindful Divergence, or Carol, as I call her. I got another name for her too. But, anyways, we go way back. Um, Carol runs a YouTube Facebook group called um 80 what's it called? Can't remember. It's like
I'd have to pull it up
uh
again. But
what's
it
it?
is
Divergent
ADS
AD, yeah, is it?
is the
Sorry, Carol.
acronym
I'm
in it.
butchering it. But anyways, it's for autistic people or people with Asperger's. So anyways, I've got Autistic Carnivores and she's got ASD Village. So she just put it on the screen, ASD Village. So autism's autism spectrum disorder village. Yeah, so it's a great place for us folks that are online. So anyways, um very grateful for her and that group and all the people in it. So it's a lot of great people there. So definitely join if it's of interest to you. So anyways, it's good to have the peeps rolling in. So
Now I need to get some of my friends to start showing up. Come on, people.
yeah, what's up with
My
that?
friends.
They gotta show up so they can see you with your head plate on.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're missing out.
Yeah. So, anyways, we were talking about eating out, and if we hadn't mentioned it, if you're in Southern California, or now In and Out is creeping out into surrounding states. And what was it when it opened in Colorado like 6 months ago? The line was like 8 hours long.
12 hours. Yeah, I think it's
12
12
hours.
hours. Yeah.
And I think they've moved in a little bit to Arizona and Texas as well. So
Yeah.
Western states, just go in there and get yourself some Flying Dutchman or something like that. Maybe you're keto and you do lettuce wrap. They do all that there. They have great burgers. They're not huge, so if you got appetite, you're gonna need more than one. And Justin and Joe and I are definitely gonna have um, a Flying Dutchman eating contest at the In and Out in Norco, California. Norco's like south of Eastvale, north of Corona, right off the 15 freeway, north of the 91. If you're from the area, I know bet you we get Vanessa to come. She's not, I don't think she's here right now, but she's one of the locals. It'd be cool to meet up with her. So, anyways, I don't think Carol's gonna fly all the way down from Canada to eat a burger, and I don't think Marge is gonna fly all the way in from Miami to to eat a burger. But you never know. I've been working on Dr. Lisa. I'm like, hey, Lisa, you like to go to meetups? Maybe you should come hang with us. She's flirting with the idea. So
That'd be really cool. Well, yeah, the confident carnivore, Janice, she might be coming to visit. I know she's going to do the challenge with us, but
yeah, so I was talking to Janice this morning. It's a maybe. So maybe Janice and Aaron will roll by, and then
Need to work on Charmaine.
yeah, we'll get Charmaine. She's not that far away, and maybe we can get Austin to show up.
That'd be really crazy
That'd
cool.
be amazing to get to meet Austin. She's not that far away. I think she's still in San Diego.
Yeah, I think so.
I think Charmaine moved. Where she go to? Irvine, something like that.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
Charmaine's in Irvine. Yeah.
yeah, that'd be good. Charmaine's looking jacked too.
Yeah, we should pull up. I don't know if we can without
Charmaine was deadlifting
privacy.
twice her body weight. I was like, damn. And then she did one of those,
Spartan races. Yeah.
yeah. She's like a freaking monkey flying across the rings and running around with. I don't know. Was you did they do a log run in that one?
I don't know what the Spartan race consists of necessarily.
Ah, you didn't look at it in the photos, watch the video.
I did watch the video. I
Mm.
did look at the photos. I don't remember seeing a log run. I think that's American Ninja or whatever it's called.
Well, she did it in another competition. I don't remember which one it was. So
Yeah, she's always doing them though, and she
yeah,
kills it in like every single one. I mean, I think she just never stops training, but she's beastly on a whole nother level.
and she's tiny. She's
And she's
itty bitty. Oh, Raymond's here. What date in September? Yeah, we got to figure that out. So Justin's getting here on the 23rd of September, and who knows how long he'll stay. I think he'll stay as long as he can. And Joe Zumbo's flying in on the 24th, and he's staying till the 10th. So, so somewhere in there we're ballparking it. We could probably pick a date. It's probably be after that weekend because Justin gets here on like Friday, and then Joe flies in us on a Saturday morning, and we are going to the Coliseum to see
yeah.
Rammstein. Fire, fire!
I don't know if we're gonna be able to get anything carnivore there at the snack stand, but we'll try.
No man, yeah, maybe they have hot dogs or hamburgers or something.
Maybe I can get a vodka shot.
We're in LA. There's food everywhere, so
Right.
you just got to not get killed.
No one stab you for a hot dog. Be good. And hopefully you can eat it with the smell of urine. That's the other challenge.
Well, you gotta feed at the beginning before people get out of control, you know.
Right.
So, but if we start a food fight, who knows? Maybe we'll get some free hot dogs flying through the air.
Maybe. There you go.
I did start a food fight when I was there to watch. Korn was opening for Metallica.
Uh-huh.
There's some Metallica fans right behind us, and we were in somebody else's seat. This is before the concert even started, and so I started talking about how much better Korn was than Metallica, and it seemed like the playlist was in reverse and stuff like that. And I was just messing with the people behind me, and they got all serious, and then they started arguing with the people next to them. It was awesome. Pretty soon there was just food flying everywhere. It was like, whoa! The good thing these aren't our permanent seats because it's a mess now. So, yeah, so we booked it out of there. I think I got some nacho cheese on me or something. Wasn't so
Mm.
bad, but yeah. Yeah, Joe's really excited to go to the Coliseum. He can't believe he's seeing a concert there, but
He's gonna love it. It's gonna be crazy.
yeah, good times.
Good times.
Good times. We're gonna go down to meet on the ocean. Mm. Well, I should ask
Okay.
Marissa. Maybe we should go to the Phoenix Club. Get a platter of Schnitzengruben.
Eat what my ancestry is supposed to eat. So there we go.
There you go. Phone's blowing up. Sorry.
You got some real gangster stuff going on there. It's like you're in the 70s. You pimp
Yeah, I don't know why that sound effect's so freaking loud.
it? So is that one, Tom.
That's Raymond and Carol. Oh, Carol.
So I had something interesting happen. I went out to eat with some old friends that actually moved not nearby, but nearby for the Midwest. We went and had lunch, him, his girlfriend, and I. And of course, me with my crazy order of getting beef patties on top of beef patties with some bacon. Um, and he had this comment. He was like, because he's a bit overweight. You can see some metabolic syndrome in his stomach, and he's like, man, uh, I love meat. Like, I would really like to do it, but it's just hard to say goodbye to everything else. And I was just like, well, I mean, it's not so much goodbye as it is see you later, or just you see much less of it, and they just don't understand, which is fine. That you just get to a point where you just don't crave it. You just don't look forward to that other food. Like, full confession, I did have like 3 or 4 fries. I had one with honey mustard, one with chipotle ketchup, and one with barbecue sauce, just because I wanted to try the different dips. So, take away my carnivore card if you must, but that was pretty good. It's not often that you have a good restaurant that serves a good honey mustard. If there's a way to make carnivore honey mustard, I mean, it's pretty sweet because it has honey. So, well, I guess for Paul Saladino probably
Yeah,
would
that's Dr.
honey,
Salad Dinosaur.
have honey mustard.
He's probably down with that.
Right, probably.
No, but I put like mustard on food once in a while. It's not like a regular thing. It doesn't bother me.
Right.
Like I said before, and this surprised me because there was a lot of comments in the video. Black pepper is one of the things that messes with my digestion a little bit. I mean, it's not a big deal, but it's like I can easily avoid it 99% of the time, so I do, right? But like I can eat mustard, hot sauce, no problem. So, in fact, I think I'm gonna have a hot dog with mustard when we get off here.
There
Sounds
you
good.
go. We're just gonna make Christina even more hungry. Christina, how come you fasted? What are you trying to do? Just curious.
Yeah, what's up with that, Christina? Why you denying yourself? You could have had a rack of ribs with me just yesterday. And then a lobster tail. Did you see in that picture I put the lobster tail shell on top of the bones and made it look like it was drinking the barbecue sauce?
That's pretty good. Carnivore art. That's the next step.
That's right.
Yeah, and so a lot of people, most people, you tell them what you eat on carnivore, and they're like, "That's delicious." Or you share pictures. I made my ghetto carnivore pizza with shallots, which makes it kind of not ghetto. And I was sharing pictures with them, and they're like, "That looks amazing." And I think the only thing that stops people is they have it in your head is that that's not good for you, sadly. So now they're starting to ask me some questions, and I'll work on them. You know, and it's a slow burn, which is a more meaningful burn, right? What's the best meat? The meat you smoke for 12 hours, right? Not the meat you throw in the
As long
oven.
as you don't dry it out.
That is true.
It's an art for sure.
It's an art, right? Now you're just ruining my point. uh, and so working on people. I have a friend who's recently dabbling in carnivore. He sent me pictures of him eating just plates of meat, and I don't think it's enough. I don't think his fat is high enough, but I don't see everything else he's eating. So I just gave him a couple of tips, and of course I send pictures of my meal and be like, "This is a proper carnivore breakfast." It's like 4 eggs, about a half pound of ground beef, some bacon, some cheddar cheese. Like it's a solid plate of food. Right, that is a great point, Carol. No need to just go all in. Now there are certain people that, hey, if they have a few fries, it can turn into a binge. So that's where you know yourself. Um, I think those people obviously know what they're up against and know what they need to do for themselves. But many of us, myself included, I can have a few fries and it doesn't send me off the edge and stuff like that. I'm just lucky that way. It's just not. I have many issues, but binge eating hasn't been one of them.
Yeah, and I ate the ribs I ordered. They came with some sauce on them. I think they'd put it on early on because it was pretty dry. I started scraping it off. I was like, I wanted sauce to ever bother me. Of course they bring you sauce to dip in, but it didn't. I didn't need the extra sauce. I mean, and the the ribs were cooked really nice. Like I could bust off a rib with a fork, and then
Mm.
just pick up the bone and eat the meat off of it. It's like, pretty much super tender. They did a good job. But yeah, I wonder, is that a sauce gonna bother? It didn't bother me at all. So whatever. Some people would. Some people, the sweetness of the sauce might trigger some carb cravings. Send them to the cookie factory, the cupcake factory. You know,
The
but
Wally Mart, all its baked
I
goods.
haven't really had that problem, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, and our heart goes out to those that do. And we do work with people, though, that have on the scale of eating disorders from anorexia through binge eating, through binging and purging. So, not like we don't have any outside experience with it.
Yeah, and I'm not saying you need to tell a coach everything, and there are all kinds of coaches. Like Charmaine isn't a carnivore, but she's, she's definitely low carb and helps people particularly with carbohydrate um, addictions. But you know, uh, there probably isn't anything you could tell your coach that they haven't already heard. I'm just saying. So don't feel like have to hold back. I mean, once in a while, you gotta like people get off topic and talk about stuff you kind of wish they hadn't talked about. But
Well, I mean, the thing about food is that it's wrapped up in, especially when you start to get to the restrictive and addictive side, you kind of inevitably run into some childhood trauma and things like that, sadly.
mm,
And those stories can sometimes be hard to hear. That and
yeah,
the um diarrhea stories or the bowel movement stories, those can also be hard to hear, but for different reasons.
yeah, Carol, it gets easier with time. You get used to it, and you just need to eat what you need to eat. So she said I could never eat as much as you do to eat. LOL. Maybe one day. Yeah, and believe it or not, Justin could put the food away a lot better than I can, and he's roughly half my size, so he can out eat me anytime. In fact, when we have that burger eating or Flying Dutchman eating contest, I know Joe and Justin are just gonna kill me. They're just slaughter me. They're gonna be able to eat double, no problem. They'll be eating twice as many as me at one time and just dancing around, gloating about it. But that's all right. I'm down. I don't mind getting beat. I'm
And I'm
eating.
so sorry to hear that you're ill, Christina. Wishing you the best. I hope our speaking isn't making you uh, feel a little worse. We appreciate you being here. Yeah, I mean, getting sick, going to the fasting. I mean, I think when I had the modern pestilence, not saying that's what you're dealing with, I think there was a solid day there where I really didn't eat or I didn't eat. And then I'd slowly work my way back up. I think I started with like 5 or 6, which probably was like 8 ounces, maybe 10 ounces of ground beef was kind of where I started before, and it was just like a meal, pretty much doing the best that I can. Um, but yeah, some people, I mean, go. I don't. I'm not sure. Well, the reason why I ask is it sounds like it's like you just don't have the will or the want or the energy to eat, which I think is one thing, and I get it. Um, but I'm not quite sure if being actively sick and fasting actually helps you get over anything quicker. Um,
It has been a common remedy for a long time to
yeah.
fast when you're sick. So yeah, sometimes it helps. It's hard to say. I mean, when I had the modern pestilence back around Christmas, I had a sore throat and I didn't eat or drink anything for 3 days because I just couldn't. My throat was so swollen. So then by the time, of course, I got any meds or anything, it was over. So yeah, I was kind of wondering there because not drinking water for 3 days generally frowned upon for survival, but you know, but I made it through. So yeah, and it was one of those weird things where my throat was so painful, like I would cough or swallow or something in my sleep, and it was so painful I'd wake up and I'd still be dreaming. Looking around, what the hell's going on? Why are my ears burning? I can't swallow. Yeah, it was great. It was a crazy 3 days, but still here.
Yeah, and I know it's what animals do. If you see an animal's ill, one of the first signs is that they're not they stop eating. But I don't know if animals, typical animals, have any other choice. Sometimes we don't have a choice. I totally get it, but I'm just not quite sure if there's actually the data on that has ever been sewn up. If while you're actively ill, acutely ill, the best thing to do is to go into a more fasted state. I mean, the quote unquote carnivore diet is a quote unquote fasted eating diet. Um, and so, how much more different is it for us compared to our normal state? Maybe, maybe not. And uh, probably not going to get that data for some time. But if I had a choice of what to study, that would be one of the things because I'd be awfully curious to see if there was any difference there.
Yeah, mindful divergence says she's eating 3/4 of a pound of meat a day, which that's fine. I mean, you know, it's more important to do that every day than it is to eat more meat or something like that. It's more important to establish the habit, let your body get used to it, and you can always work out whether to eat more meat or maybe there's something else you're eating you need to take out of your diet because whatever it causes indigestion or some sort of allergic reaction or anxiety or depression or whatever, you can work that out. It's just more important to stick to it. It is very easy to undereat on carnivore. So a lot of people do that. I mean, I look at how many calories and they're theoretically burning based on digital data and electronic devices, and I'm frequently like in a deficit. So it could be a real chore. Of course, I don't know how tall. I don't know how tall mindful divergence is, or how much she weighs, or how active she is, or anything like that. So I could only ballpark um, what kind of how much she would need, to eat, but she could pencil that out because she's a smart cookie. So, or you can hit me up. I'll walk you through it. So, yeah, Raymond Neff repeated the common saying, "Starve a fever, feed a cold." So, yeah, I don't know if that works or not, and I don't know how many times it's like I think I have a cold, but I have a fever. So what do I do?
Yeah, isn't the cold the cause of the fever? And what about the flu, the dreaded flu? Oof.
Right?
And it is that season. My aunt and her husband are currently down, pretty down bad. They're recovering, but it's rare for them to ever take days off work. And my aunt took like 3 days, and her husband took like 3 or 4 days.
Mm.
So I did recently, though, for myself, have like an ear infection that I've resolved, and that was like a few weeks ago, and that took a couple of
But it
weeks.
was an outer
Healing.
ear thing, right?
Yeah, an outer ear thing. Well, just yeah,
Could have been from your headphones or
yeah,
irritating them or something. Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, my buddy AA Ron, he's got some kind of cold stuffy head thing going on too. So yeah, so Christina's got her problem is an extremely sore throat. All I can do is get down is water. Oh, well, it's good. You get the water down. You can hang in there for a while.
And may I suggest adding salt to that water or some electrolytes, maybe some magnesium?
I remember trying to gargle when I had the modern pestilence. Like I couldn't get the whatever I was gargling. I tried salt water and peroxide and stuff like that. I couldn't. It wasn't getting down to the really
Mm.
sore part. So it was barely helping. So
Yeah, throw in some
salt,
salt. What's
baby.
your favorite kind of salt? I know everyone has a. I know Redmond's is like king salt, but
I got so many different kinds of salt. I mean, if I'm gonna buy any in the future, I'm gonna get the red mints because you know like it. But I've got all kinds of different salts.
I go to
So
Burlington and I just see what they have on sale. I picked up like 2 pounds, no, 4 pounds of just some random company
what's
Himalayan
Burlington?
salt, Burlington Coat Factory,
They
which
sell salt at the coat factory.
they have like a random. They sell random stuff now. They're basically like Ross, but better.
There used to be one right there in Covina or West Covina or right along the
Yeah,
freeway. I don't know
Right.
if it's still there.
There it isn't, but I have a coat from there that my grandmother bought me when I was 13 or 14, and I still have that coat to this day and it still fits me.
Ooh.
It's a snow jacket.
What's a coat? What's a snow jacket? Yeah, I have some jackets. I don't think I've put a jacket on since my cousin's funeral. To be honest with you.
Is it because you don't want to have to do the fat guy in a little coat? Fat guy in a little coat.
No, I got plenty of coats that are big enough. It's too damn hot here. That's all. I won't need a coat till I go visit Carol in Canada. There's a chance it might get cold that far north.
Yeah. Did you work? Oh, you worked to Wisconsin in the spring or in the summer last year, right?
Seemed like we were there in the fall or something. But I mean, I'd walk around outside in shorts and t-shirt because it was like in the 40s, you know. And if I was outside, I had to do stuff. I was chopping wood or you raking the giant lawns they have there or whatever, helping out, doing some carpentry or whatever to help around. Yeah, God, I think that had to be 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I can't remember the last time I was back there, but yeah, no, I'm kind of cold proof for the most part. So
I'm getting better, but yeah, I think 40s. Yeah, I'm putting on on pants and a sweater at least and a shirt.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I could see it there. I mean, I live pretty far below the snow line here, so. But even when my dad lived in Big Bear, I'd go up there. It'd be snowing, and I'm wearing sandals and I'm wearing flip flops and walking through the snow. Yeah,
Well, I mean, living in SoCal, it's a nice treat to stomp through some snow.
yeah.
Yeah, iodized salt. I try to get iodized. I think most salts are iodized, except for your regular old salt. What's the company with the lady
Morton's.
Morton's? There you go.
That's iodized
There's
salt.
Well, now it's split between iodized and like the regular blue
Yeah,
is no longer iodized, and then they have a light blue that says iodized salt on it now. So be on the
mm,
lookout for that. And I know there
yeah,
are some complaints because it has dextrose in it. Um, I know people throw a fit over that. I don't know. I've had them all, and I can't really tell a difference from one to the other.
yeah. I've got Celtic sea salt. Some other. Oh, well, we get that Bahia. It's real common here. It's Mexican beach salt. It's real common. It's Bahia something,
And
but
they say
Bahia
the sea
salt's the name
salts
of
are
it.
bad because it has microplastics in it and aluminium
It
and
certainly
stuff like
can. Yep. I mean, that's the thing about the red man. It's an ancient seabed. Somebody had posted a picture of like their container of salt that said it was expired, and he's like, "Oh, my ancient sea salt that's 12 million years old just expired." Yeah, it's hilarious. Yeah, my salt expired.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, there's different wars. It's not as hot as the honey wars, but there are some salt wars in the carnivore community. There are people that swear by not doing salt at all. There's other people that say load up on the salt. There's other people that say you got to get super clean salt. There's other people that say watch out for the microplastics. I think the problem with Himalayan is supposedly heavy metals can lead to heavy metal toxos.
Well, some of that sea salt, the stuff in that seam, as what happens when the lake beds dry up is that things consolidate as it's evaporating, and the stuff that settles deepest is typically the heavier metals, right? So it's that's where you're going to find the most radioactive components because they're typically very heavy, right? So I don't have to worry about. So, and let me just say for people, let's straighten this out right now. Heavy metals are anything that weigh more than iron. right? So, but that's where you're gonna find you might find things, like strontium or something like that that naturally consolidated in that lake, and as it evaporated, there's going to be deposits of it. So some of that Himalayan salt, which is from Pakistan primarily, so
Right.
it's from this kind of end of the Himalayan mountain range where ancient sea beds dried up and deposited all that salt. But I don't really think I don't really think there's much of a health risk there. But the Redmonds is definitely some of the purest stuff. So and yeah, mindful divergence. Let me know when I can come up and see the Northern Lights because that's what I want to do. Let me know what's the closest airport. I want to fly up. I want to tell people someday I've been to Saskatoon to see the Northern Lights and compare salt samples, perhaps.
Yeah, Carol, I forgot that tip. I think I did that as a kid. I did the hydrogen peroxide, and then I bought like eardrops from the health store that had like garlic and cayenne and stuff in it just to kill whatever's in there. I think it's like olive oil or something. So again, if you want to take away my carnivore card for putting garlic in my ear, there you go.
I don't know if this works or not. My dad said he couldn't wait for it. Like when he was a kid and he'd get earaches, his mom would make hot onion juice and pour it in his ear.
That's supposed to help too. Someone else told me about that too, but I don't buy any onions, so I didn't have any of that like near me.
It's like, hey Uber, can you bring me a bag of onions?
Bag of onions,
And then can you
liver
bring
and
me?
onions.
I need a giant like garlic press, but for onions. Can you give me that? You imagine putting a whole bag of onions through your Ninja Foodie, trying to turn it into liquid. That'd be
Gross.
hilarious. You'd be crying. I can't stop crying. All these onions. So
That'd be so
I want to
gross.
see you try.
Yeah.
I'm just
I
saying.
only liked my onions grilled on In-N-Out burgers. There's so many
Mm,
options because you're cheating. You're only getting one slice of cheese. I don't remember if
well, you
Joe's
can
getting
get it
all
any
the
way
cheese
you
on
want,
it.
but
Yeah, but it
I
messes
can't
with the
eat that much
results.
cheese.
Like,
Look, I'm not going to win the competition. So if I'm ordering my Flying Dutchman with one slice of cheese and no salt, so be it. You can have all the cheese and grilled onions on yours you want. And I would agree. The In and Out grilled onions are the bomb.
they are bomb.
Oh, watch. I'm going to get the video yanked now because it said the bomb.
Nah.
I almost wound up in fake book jail today 'cause just replying to somebody's comment about Scooby Doo. I'm like, how the hell do you get kicked off of Facebook for cracking a joke about Scooby Doo?
You just that's special, huh?
No, the AI thought I was soliciting people for adult activities. I was like, come on, really? Can we take it any more out of context?
Well, they do have those Scooby snacks. Wink, wink.
Hmm. Yes, to tell a story about being propositioned by the homeless guy? No, I shouldn't.
Mustard fried? Wait, what is this
I
mustard?
haven't tried it, but yeah, supposedly they'll grill it with some mustard. So
Ooh, that sounds good.
yeah,
Right.
definitely. And man, I'm getting hungry like Christina now.
Maybe I'll. Me too. Maybe I'll get a few different ways. I'll make it really complicated. I'll get three. Like I'll get them all in rows. So I'll get one stack of rows. Will be the mustard fried. Another stack will be grilled onions. Uh, Another stack I think will be extra cheese or something. I don't know. Think about it. And maybe it'll be really bad and get special sauce on like a
We
stack.
should just spend a whole day and we should go to In and Out 4 times in one day.
Oh my god. One I'll have pickles because you can get pickles.
Sure.
I'll get pickles and grilled onions.
I can eat pickles, doesn't bother me. I don't
Me
really
neither. I don't think I know any carnivores that pickles bother
I
them.
don't
Shout
really
out to the
eat them
chat or
very often,
comment
but
if pickles bother you. Mushrooms bother me, but not pickles.
I actually had stuffed mushrooms yesterday. They're
Mm.
stuffed with some kind of cheese, and then I had more cheese melted on top. They were good. I We split an order. I'm gonna say I had like 4 mushroom tops. Look about they're in that picture. They're on that long skinny platter. So 4 or 5 of those didn't notice anything, but I think I probably have a mushroom like once a year or something like that.
When
So
I was paleo, I would make cheeseburgers. I would use the portobello caps, and I would cut an X on both sides, and you grill them, and they become flat. So then they become like a buns, and that was really cool. I haven't had portobello since going carnivore. I haven't done that just because that's more work than I want to put into my food. But I am still curious what that would be like. Christina, really pickles bother you? Man, that's rough. Huh? Every plant bothers you. Well, that's some people. I mean, I don't mean that in an insulting way, although that didn't come out that way. But yeah, that's really sensitive. I need to ask Em if pickles bother her.
ask him what?
If pickles bother her, because Christina said pickles bother her, and that makes me sad.
Hmm. Yeah, let's find out.
Now, all pickles, like even the ones that like I want to try
Let's
hot pickles. I haven't had a
let's do
hot
some
pickle in
polls.
forever.
Let's set up some polls. Who would like to see some polls in the like me Mosaic or autistic carnivores? Just do some polls on what foods people tolerate and don't tolerate.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was shocked at how many people had noticed the black pepper was an issue because I really thought I was the only one for a while. But then every time I mention it, somebody else is like, "Yeah, pepper bothers me too." So maybe it's a really common thing.
It bothers me, and I didn't know it bothered me until you started talking about it. And my digestion is better since giving it up. Now I just do salt.
Christina's mentioning the histamine. So Karina has had a lot of issues with histamine too. Like said, to eat really fresh meat.
I used
Me,
to, and they've seemed to have resolved in the last 3 years.
I'm not saying I have no histamine issues because post modern pestilence, I had a stuffy nose for like 3 months straight. It seemed like allergies, and it still pops up once in a while. So there might be some sort of histamine thing going on, but it doesn't seem to be related to food. And I mean, I can eat some very questionable meat raw that's been laying around. So I don't think histamines in my food are a problem.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I've done it, and I love it. I just feel that ground beef gets tired, and ground beef without anything, like I can eat steaks, plain salt, day in, day out. That doesn't bother me at all. But have you looked at the price of steaks? Um, but like ground beef is hard to eat just by itself. I tried
Yeah.
so hard to just do ground beef, even ground beef dipped in just like fat.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to matter what the fat content is. Like, there's just like limits on ground beef. But you know what? Where I was just thinking about doing this is make chili with ground beef, and my
Mm-hmm.
favorite is when you put chunks of steak in it,
Mm-hmm.
and that is actually great over hamburger patties. You know?
Right, but I don't think that would help Christina because chili still has like plant.
Oh yeah, that would be way too much histamine for her
Right.
too. I
Yeah.
agree.
I'm trying to think of like, again, bacon. I mean, I think the way Brett Lloyd does it is awesome. Just bacon and ground beef all the time. I mean, I think that rocks. I just don't want to be cooking bacon. I mean, I could go through probably 2 packs of bacon a day if I were eating the way Brett does.
Yeah, I have very little time to cook, so I've said this like a million times already. I adopted Emily's way of eating. So I mostly just I buy a steak, and these days it's all been top sirloin pretty much, and I just cut it up into bite-sized pieces, put it in the freezer, and then I take two. I usually take two 20-ounce containers of sirloin with me every day to eat, and then usually have shrimp with that. So sometimes I'll have if I'm on my game, I'll have some pork rinds or something with it too. So yeah, poor Christina. Hopefully she feels better soon.
Yeah, keep us updated.
Did I
Uh,
say I was eating the sirloin raw? Did I say that part?
I think so. Well, you said the Emily method.
Yeah, so Emily Penton in her clarity system. She started eating, just cutting her food up, putting it in plastic bags and freezing it and not cooking it. And she swears she started doing it because she was just lazy. But then I was like, I'm just really crunched for time. And I always liked raw meat. And I'm like, why the hell do I bother cooking it? You know, just eat it the way it is. So yeah, I do. I prep. I usually, in fact, today is supposed to be prep day, and I didn't buy my steak yet. But I usually buy like 10 pounds of top sirloin, something like that, and then cut it up, put it in. I keep it have it in glass containers, locking lids. Put it in the freezer. Pull it out. The shrimp is boiled. I don't trust raw seafood or raw chicken or raw duck. Um, because it's not like I'm getting it straight from the farm. So anyways, I that stuff's all cooked. So, but whatever. Yeah. So I don't know if it gets much fresher than that. I'm not even sure what exactly happens to histamines when you cook it. So
Oh wow, Christina, sorry to hear that. That's scary.
wow, this has some really strong reactions, and some people are that way. Fortunately, it seems like typically those things get better over time. Seems like the immune system starts down regulating the reactions to things like that. So hopefully, eventually, I mean, I'll be a carnivore for, you do the math. I don't know. I started in the end of
I mean, you're either at 5 years or
2017. So 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So call this is ballpark at 5 years. And, I noticed things are getting better. So still, so yeah. So Christina and I have been in carnivore same time. So I think she said she's about the same period of time as me. So hopefully things get better. You definitely don't want to risk anaphylaxis. So,
right.
and Justin has to run in the room and stab you with an EpiPen, right?
Somebody would, I suppose, or
Hopefully,
yeah, hopefully. Uh,
chug some Benadryl.
but I mean, and then there's people that are straight allergic to beef, which I find extremely fascinating. Um,
Yeah, we get the people that got bit by the Lone Star tick. That's, I think, makes up the vast majority of them. When you look it up, a beef allergy is like it's something less. It's something well under 1% of the population.
and they typically still are okay with pork and seafood, which is interesting.
Yeah, and then some people are sensitive to pork or chicken, and we think that's primarily to do with what the animals are fed, right? We don't know. I mean, of course, that varies from person to person. So, uh, um, pigs can eat more soy than cows can. Typically, they kind of have a threshold where they really suffer poor tissue quality if they eat too much. But um, it's a common food for them. Same thing with chicken. So it could be something like the soy, because soy allergies are actually fairly common.
Right.
Maybe the animal's just saturated with enough soy that whatever it is in the soy that irritates people is present still. So hard to say.
Hard to
Hard to
say.
say.
I had one of those food. Well, I did the food allergy test, but I also did a main allergy test before. And in the food one, when I did it, I was like highly allergic to all like gluten and grains. It
Hmm.
was like forever ago. It was like 7 or 8 years ago now. And then there were some other vegetables I was allergic to, and like some fruits and things like that. It was interesting. Um, Now I realized I was allergic to way more plants than even what was on that. And then when I had a skin allergy test done, it said the only thing I was allergic to was mold, uh, which a lot of people are allergic to mold, and mold's a tough one because it's basically just have a clean environment. But if you live in an older house, that can get really tricky.
It's interesting because I when I was really working on my diet, I went to my healthcare provider and asked them test me for food allergies. I did the EGG, IgGs, and stuff like that, and stuff that I know I have an allergic reaction to. We're testing negative, like nuts, certain types of nuts and stuff like that. Like if I eat a walnut, there's got a pretty good chance I'll get a welt on my tongue from it. And then when I swallow it, I could feel like a discomfort, not quite pain, but a discomfort for sure. And that's not that uncommon. And in fact, there's other people in my family that have the same problem, but it doesn't show up in that test. That test isn't capable of determining that relationship. So
And one of the problems is it goes off like the best way to go into these tests, unfortunately, is to eat a bunch of stuff that you're allergic to, so it shows up. Because certain foods, or I'm not quite sure how it works, show up, stay in the blood or in your system, or the immune reaction titrates across time, right? So, like, obviously, you're going to be most reactive the sooner it was that you ate the food, or how much of that food you ate in the last like month or so.
yep. Well, what else we got? Do you want to hammer on something else?
Well, I was going to say one of the things would be really interesting is because I swear I would get horrible migraines from citrus fruits. So, like oranges, tangerines, things of that nature.
Mm.
And now I'm kind of wondering if it's the citrus or if it was the sugar that was causing my migraines. And I don't know if I could ever figure that out, but like that's a big thing. So when you read like food migraine food triggers, it always says citrus fruits, um, and it doesn't specify what it is about the citrus, which I think they assume it's the acids, but that doesn't make any sense from what I know now, and I think it's the sugar content.
Yeah, but I mean, I'd get a reaction to oranges, tangerines, lemons, even honeydew melons. Same sort of thing, sores on the tongue, usually sometimes
Really?
somewhere else in the mouth. Yeah.
Huh.
And I don't know if it's just too acidic. There's something. I mean, how many different chemicals are in stuff like that? It's hard to say, right?
Yeah. So, yeah, it could be something completely different. I didn't know you also reacted to citrus. I didn't know that many people had issues with citrus. So that's kind of interesting. I always felt like a weirdo, have not being able to have like an orange or like a tangerine, you know?
Yeah, I remember when I was a kid when those Capri Suns came out. There's some sort of
Uh,
juice punch thing in a bag. Those used to make me break out in a rash. It was funny because God, somebody's kid, they're saying, "Oh yeah, my kid gets this rash when he drinks those Capri Suns." I'm like, I got that too. Of course, who knows what's in there? I mean,
right. I think there's like not
some
even like
juice
a
and a
lot of
bunch of
juice in
chemicals to
there.
keep it from going bad in a
Right.
plastic bag.
3% juice or whatever it is, or
Yeah.
1% juice. Yeah. Uh, yeah, very interesting. I mean, well, that's what makes carnivore so simple, right? Is that we don't have to keep testing all this out. Who cares if I can't eat a tangerine? Uh,
Right.
I do care if I can not throw a lime in my vodka. That will make me sad.
Michael Maj is saying citrus will make your skin more sensitive to the sun. That's interesting.
Hmm. I wonder why.
I did not know that. Yeah, it'd be interesting to look into that and see what the mechanisms are back there. So
Right. Well, Tom, I'm a getting hungry. Are you hungry?
I'm starving.
You're starving.
Haha. We just wore shade. Justin's wearing glasses that block out blue light,
Yeah.
and I just threw on a pair of sunglasses to be a character. So,
I'm already a character naturally. These are from a company called Theraspecs. They're specifically designed for people that have migraines or other photosensitivities, and they're awesome. I've thrown them around. It has not scratched the. I've had them for like 3 or 4 years now too, and I've not broken them, which for me is a hallelujah moment because I sit on things. I haven't sat on these though. I just leave them out open on my desk for most of the time, um, and I've been able to keep them in good shape. I just use like sunglass wipes or glass wipes time to time to clear them up. But Therasprex, I love them. They're my favorite blue light blocking brand. A bit on the pricey side, but to me it's worth it, and I haven't looked back. I wear them all the time.
I have a pair of those Therospecs recommended by Justin. I have different frames, but I have them at work and I use them sometimes when they make me work with the lights on. Those bastards, which they don't do anymore, by the way. So I guess I could bring them home. But I'm actually wearing my outdoor glasses. I'm like crazy picky about glasses. So these are made by a company called BNUS, and they are actual glass lenses, natural glass lenses. The lenses are actually made by Corning, which, of course, I don't know if everywhere in the world, but here in the US, everybody associates Corning with glass. They make everything from glass skillets to insulation for homes, you know. So they've been so these lenses are made by Corning, and the frames are actually made in Italy. I forgot the name of the company, but they're sold under the name BNUS, and they're surprisingly affordable considering the very high quality. Again, I've never actually scratched these because they're natural glass. They're much harder to scratch than plastic is or polycarbonate. And the frames, I believe these frames are actually made from nylon. So then they have some nice over molding on them. So they have nice silicone over molding on them. So I have probably somewhere in the range of five different pair like this. So, because I really need them to navigate outside because the bright light's just overwhelming. You know how I got that brains that's overwired for visual, tactile, and auditory inputs. So I'm always carefully at odds with my environment. So, but I just threw them on here for that. It actually is more comfortable sitting in front of. I have great big like. Well, you could probably see them in the reflection. I have great big 43-inch monitors in front of me, so it's a little. Plus, I've got lights so that I'm a little more evenly lit, and the green screen. See my chair? So see it disappeared now. So, try to use the green. See it comes back. Stop that. So I've got lights on and screens and stuff like that. So it's actually a little more comfortable wearing sunglasses to do this than it is doing it with bare eyes. But yeah, I was just doing it to goof around. Justin was doing it because he's trying to cut the blue light out. Of course, where Justin lives, he's 2 hours ahead of me, so he's closer to bedtime. So blocking out some of that blue light is probably help him fall asleep a little easier. So
I'm
those are
just so used to it now. I mean, I could probably go without them these days, but I just like it. They also help keep me focused.
mm, yeah. So yep. So yeah, if you guys want some sunglasses, I highly recommend checking out the BNUS and get the ones with the glass lenses. I think I think the first pair I bought, I paid something like $40 for, and they've gone up over time. So if you want to get like polarized ones, which are nice, they're nice except when you get any distance from video screens and you can't see the screen. But um, we're talking like $60, $70 a pair. Um, where's the ones I had on earlier? These are Oakley's. Um, which is kind of a local company. If you live in Southern California, everybody's kind of proud of Oakley. They make a nice product and everything, but in my estimation, these BNUS at say $50, $60 a pair are far superior in quality and materials, especially materials. And these Oakleys were probably $200. I probably had them for 15, 20 years, but those they have typical polycarbonate lenses which scratch easy, and every once in a while I've broken the frame on them just by pulling them off my head too fast or something. I got a giant head, so like where's my here's a typical pair of glasses on me. These are my Dr. Robotnik glasses, and as you can see how far back my ears are. It's like usually the earpieces don't fit me and stuff like that. I mean, these are just cheap gimmicky glasses, but anyways, There, we talked about glasses forever.
There you go. See, we're a mixed bag. Sorry, Carol,
Oh,
that pickles mess with you. But
but
yeah, raw meat.
she's gravitating more towards raw red meat. That's my girl.
It's the way to do it.
That would be awesome. We'll have to do a video, Carol, over we're sitting around eating raw meat. That'd be good stuff. Now that you're out of the closet as a carnivore, anyways. So yeah, Carol's been kind of a on again, off again partner in crime in the Tism world. By the way, Carol, I'm trying to make Tism the I'm trying to make that stick being in the Tism tribe. That's my new gimmicky word for it. I never liked I never really liked Aspie. I finally got used to it, but in the beginning I hated that word. So I think Tism's the way to go. Much better for marketing. So, anyways,
Hey,
Sarah
Sarah.
Sapien. Yeah, what are you doing? It's good to see you. Yeah, long time no see. It's good for you to pop in. We're kind of winding down. They have tick-borne disease usually. I'm not sure who's got the tick-borne disease, Carol. Everybody in Lyme, New York does. Damn, I got to let the dog out. Hold on. Keep him busy, Justin. Tell him a joke.
I'll do a dance.
Do a
Dance for
dance.
people.
Dance,
Yeah.
monkey, dance.
Uh, so yeah, again, thanks for the evening, everyone. Hi, Sarah. Great to see you. Great for everyone. Please make sure you are hitting that like button. Make sure you are subscribed. Stay subscribed. Please hit that notification bell so you know whenever we go live. Again, me and Tom both do our own individual account, our individual coaching. You can reach us, Tom Alan Clark at Instagram, and me at justinalloutlife.carnivore. Well, alloutlife.carnivore on Instagram, as well as Facebook and minds.com. I throw up some of my favorite carnivore vids, of course, our own content. We've got the Meat Mosaic Facebook group. We've got the
Feel
Meat
better,
Mosaic.
Christina.
Yeah, feel better, Christina. Until next time. We've got the Meat Mosaic Telegram. We've got Autistic Carnivores, Thomas's proud group. Yeah, so plenty of places to reach us. Ask your questions. Um,
Go hang out at ASD Village on Facebook.
yeah,
Autistics. I can't even say it.
spectrum disorder.
Spectrum disorder. Whoop whoop. Too much staring at the camera today. Justin and I recorded two short ribs before this one. So, anyways, we've been sitting here grinding them out today. So, anyways, hopefully I'll get a sexy head plate like Justin before too long. So he's not out cooling me. But yeah, thanks everybody. See you online. Make sure and help us grow the channel. And let us know what you want to talk about. Hit us up with the comments. Send all your hate mail to Justin.
There you go.
And
whatever you do, eat some meat.
Feel
better. And whatever you do,
don't fall down the carb
hole.
hole.